So should I? Yeah, there you go. So I'll show you a video, and I want you to think about how it makes you feel. How did it make you feel? Feel free to share. Excited? Scared? Informed? Worried? It's difficult to say, because today, artificial intelligence and technology in general is everywhere, and we are all using it every day. It has become an integral part of our lives. It helps us in decision-making, to reduce human errors, automate tedious tasks, and even create new products and services. But the concept of AI and machine learning is nothing new. It's been around for almost 70 years. And surprisingly, the machine intelligence that we have today can go back to the 19th century when Ada Lovelace, the first computer programmer, she somehow predicted that computers one day could do much more than just calculating numbers, and they will be able to perform any abstract operations. But the reason that we hear more about AI these days is because what happened for less than a year ago, when ChatGPT became available to everyone. It was the first time an intelligent and easy-to-use product was made available to the public. In fact, my passion for data and computer ethics goes back long before that. So let me introduce myself. My name is Tannaz. I work as a DevOps engineer for the company called DNB in Norway. I have a background in robotics, and in my spare time, I'm spending time learning more about data ethics and machine learning approaches. I'm also a Google Woman Tech Makers, trying to help others to stay in tech, motivate them, and sharing my knowledge with the community. You can also find me on social media and connect with me with this handle. So back to the topic. GPT. It stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. Pre-trained, meaning that it comes with an existing knowledge. We don't need to teach it every time we use it. But someone has trained the data. So the question is that, what is the data? Who trained that data? With which knowledge and with which intention? Because data sets come from various sources, and mostly from the internet, to train these models. And we know that
Internet does not lie.
I just had to add it here. So we should start asking ourselves what happened when these models were trained. Because generative AI requires a lot of humans, a lot of invisible work that we rarely hear about or see. They are using different models, but one of them that we will talk about in this talk is reinforcement learning with human feedback, which an AI agent learns by receiving feedback from humans. And the way that these models work is that they need enormous amount of annotation. They need humans that basically label their observation. They say that this is a circle, this is a triangle, and so on. And those machine learning models will use that data. And again, human annotators will give feedback, retrain the models, and they get smarter over time. Who performs the annotation? Who provides feedback? What if they have never seen that specific object that they are required to label. Are they coming from a diverse background? So you should start asking these questions. What happens if a data is mislabeled or misunderstood under that analysis process? And how this might create vulnerabilities for you, for your life, and for your business. Despite the many benefits that technology can bring, it also comes with significant risks and challenges. Already, many companies have suffered real damage when their algorithms led to discriminatory, privacy-invading, and even life-threatening outcomes. Self-driving cars been involved in terrible accidents. HR algorithms prevented qualified women from getting jobs. Security systems misidentified innocent individuals. Mortgage systems are unfairly denied loans to qualified minorities. AI avatars being used to give a false representation of diversity, and there is many more examples. Did you see this last week? Deep fake news appear to be delivered by a top well-known journalist. One of the biggest topics of our century is the ethical challenges presented by AI. Because the ethical concerns that comes with AI, they're not new. They've been around, I think, since mid-20s. But since we are generating more and more data, we hear more about these things these days. So I would like you to take a moment and look at the entire digital world from a different perspective. What is ethics? It's defined as a general ideas or beliefs that influence our experiences and attitudes. We learn these principles from what is happening around us. And it can be different from person to person, from culture to culture. Therefore, ethical issues are confusing and complex. When we are talking about algorithms, the problem is that algorithms have limitation in understanding and making ethical decisions. They face challenges when they need to make decisions that require moral reasoning, context awareness, emotional intelligence, responsibility, creativity, and accountability. While AI algorithms are excellent at processing large amounts of data, they cannot fairly solve any problems. Because technology has no ethics, but technology has creators, and its creators are humans. People and society depend on ethics. And we all know that no one knows a system better than its creators. So when we as tech people try to design and build systems, we need to think about how our action will affect others and why. Because algorithms don't know what the consequences could be of recommending something to someone. And nobody knows the system better than its creators. However, the complexity of AI makes it difficult, even for the creators, to understand and anticipate their behaviors, these algorithms' behavior. Because in the training process, these artificial neurons, they receive huge amount of data, they analyze it, find a pattern, and based on the pattern, they can predict and give us some intelligent output. And then they use that intelligent output, in addition to all other data, to retrain themselves. And everything happens in a black box, so after a while, we cannot predict what the outcome can be. Then we will get some magical output. But it's important to remember that it's magical and it's not magic. Because when we feel that something is magic, we will overlook the importance of understanding why it works the way that it works. So keep in mind, moving forward, whenever you are making a decision, ask yourself actively and constantly, why are you doing that, and how it can affect you and others. Again, AI can be wrong in the most mysterious way and be completely unaware of it. We all know that everything is nowadays data. On average, every person generates 2 megabytes of data through their online activities every second. So what is that data? There are two main categories. One is the public data that is easily available, copyrighted or not, and the other one is private data that is mostly used for personalized purposes. And smartphones and wearable devices are good examples because they collect data in all the ways. We have them with us all the time, and most of the apps and websites that we visit, they collect data and share that with third-party companies to build even more addictive products for us, to target our vulnerabilities, and to provide a set of predefined options or recommendations, even though we, as users, are not interested in them. But the problem is that the decisions we as humans can make is based on the information that we have and we get. So what kind of information we have access to when there are some systems who have decided for us what we see. I'm sure that you all have experienced that. If you start watching cat videos, after a while, you only get cat-related content. While it may initially be satisfying, but it can have some serious consequences in the long run. Because these behavior and experience-based algorithms can limit our information and perspectives. They can exclude us from seeing and understanding the world around us. So as a result, we get stuck in a box that some systems have decided for us who we are, what we like, and what we want to do. And this exclusion reinforces the biases that we face today and narrows our understanding about the world. When it comes to data collection, there are two primary aspects. One is active user data collection, where we explicitly ask users about their permission to share information. How difficult it is for users, that's another topic. But then we have passive user data collection, which means that every user action between client and server will be collected, stored, and used in some way. And users are not aware of that. And the main question or the main issue is not necessarily that one service is collecting data, but rather the potential of harm that can happen when multiple sources of data are collected and combined together. And this is especially important when we are talking about AI, because these algorithms are designed to collect data, to analyze data, find patterns, and based on that, recommend something to us. When I talk to people who don't have tech background, they often have no idea what is happening when they are just surfing on the internet. And that's a huge problem, because we are getting more and more addicted to these systems, and we need to find a solution. Because we are dependent on AI and technology, and AI is dependent on human intelligence. So here you see an example of an honest AI that explains what it sees on a picture. And on the other side, you see how easily we can manipulate these systems. And it comes with serious security issues. But that's also another topic. Since AI mimics our intelligence, let's take a look at how human brain works. Our behavior and choices are made by two systems. One is automatic, and the other one is deliberate. System one is instinctive, automatic, and emotional. It's the part of our brain that acts suddenly, without conscious, and is 95% that controls 95% of our thoughts. And the other one is mature, slow, and calculated. It's the part of brain that is responsible for decision-making, reasoning, and self-control. But we don't always control our thoughts. So, what comes to your mind when you look at these letters? Maybe nothing. What if I show you the word bread? Then it can be flower with a U. And what if I show you the word garden instead of bread? Then you think of flower with E. This is also how large language models work. But these interactions are not only control how we think, but also how we act and make choices. We usually go on autopilot, rely on automatic thinking, which is largely influenced by our own experiences. But to be able to solve new challenges or solve the known problems in new ways and make AI systems or generally technology more smarter, we need to work on our critical thinking. And we are using that skill as we are getting more and more dependent on technology. Critical thinking means thinking purposefully. It's about considering a wide range of options, including those that are different from our own. It's about looking at a problem from different perspectives and consider every outcome, that every action can have some consequences, and based on that, make informed decisions that can lead to better outcomes. And critical thinking is a human superpower. It's the key in creative problem solving, good and effective communication, and decision making. And to uncover the biases that we face in the AI era, we should improve our critical thinking and implement that into the system that we are making. Because we all have a social responsibility. Not only to develop effective and functional IT systems, but also prioritize ethical considerations. Ensuring that systems that we are making are fair, transparent, and explainable. We often hear that businesses have a responsibility. Milton Friedman once said, business as a whole cannot be said to have responsibilities because they are individuals who are to be responsible. And yes, big companies as a whole can have a larger impact due to their size and reach. However, it's important to know that we as individuals have a role to play. If we want businesses to do the right thing, first we need to find out what the right thing is, and that's an ethical question. Every organization needs a culture that prioritizes diversity, encourage collaboration, open communication, education, and we should remember that we are also part of that culture. So we can increase inclusion and awareness by listening actively to everybody, respecting all the perspectives, even though we are not agree on them, and help to foster an environment where everyone feels comfortable to share their thoughts and ideas. Because a culture that values diversity is more likely to identify biases and contribute to meaningful solutions. So it's crucial to ask ourselves about the limitation of AI, and not only AI, technology in general. Because algorithms, if we let them to make decisions for us, we will end up with some unintended consequences that will affect our ability to make informed choices. AI is as effective as the data and algorithms that are used to train it. So it does not understand ethics. It is not capable of understanding complex human emotions, motivation, and experiences in the same way that humans are. So start asking questions, finding answers, and understand why things are the way that they are, what is happening, and how it can impact you. And remember that you can be the change. So with that, I would like to thank you.